Yep, we're going. It is go time. So one of the videos I wanted to make for one of the many PT diaries that I want to release today. I released 3 yesterday and I plan to release another 3. I like the work rate. This is the first video that I'm going to be making, and it's going to be about coursework. So I'm doing this to just give regular updates as to how it's going, because I'm going through it at a rate of 2 pages every day, and that leads on to what I want to talk about coursework wise. So yesterday, I remember it taking around about 3.5 hours to get it done, because I was doing it very slowly, it being 2 pages. Now, today took around about 2.5 hours, so it did not take anywhere near as long as it did yesterday, but that was because I already got used to it by that point. I think that's why, because I seeing as I had already done it, I knew it was like, I did more this time round than I did yesterday. So I did the 2 pages. I've done that today and yesterday, but this time round today, I also did, I went through like the marking system of 2 pages worth of questions that I'm going to do tomorrow. So for example, by that I mean, if a question was worth 2 marks, I'd say 2 sentences. That's around about a guide that I'd need to answer the questions sensibly and appropriately. One sentence per mark, basically. So I'm going to be using that guide. I've set it up, and I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. As in, I'm going to go through the 2 pages that I plan to do, and then the next 2 pages beyond, I will also set up in the exact same way for the next day, in the exact same way that I have today, by saying, well, if a question's 2 marks, that's around 2 sentences. If a question's 1 mark, that's 1 sentence. For 1 mark questions in particular, I don't write that down, because to me it's just common sense. So I just leave them alone. But for 2 marks, for questions that are 2 marks and above, then I will make a note of it somehow. And if there's like a grid and it's like 6 marks, but there are 3 grids within the specific question, then I'll say 2 sentences per grid. At the end of it, one major note that I wanted to make, that I wanted to speak about today was, I got sick of it. I got sick of doing the coursework at the end, but I did it anyway, because I wanted to stick to doing 2 pages a day as planned. And at this point, within the session, I'd done maybe 1.5 pages, give or take. I really like this work rate, and I feel, going off on a tangent, I like this work rate, and I feel happy that I've got a sort of plan, my own formula to get it done. Because this time round is going to be easier, and then the next time round, and for every other course that I'll do, I'll have some sort of plan, some sort of general plan I'll always be able to stick to whenever I do my coursework. So that's amazing. I'll give myself a high five later on. That will do for now though. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the major note that I think I've already made is I will definitely keep on setting myself up for the next 2 pages for the day after as planned, because it will just make it easier. And I think another way that I can set myself up, which I might have done today, but I'm not sure if I did, is to also find the pages that I'll be able to find the answers to the question with. At this rate, actually no, never mind. I like the work rate I've got now. I was thinking of increasing it, because it definitely works. So I could maybe do 2 sessions and I get more than 2 pages done. But for now, I like how things are going. Really, I like it. It's good. But yeah, man, I'll make a note of that. But for now, that's it really. It's just a brief update on how it's going, and I have spoken to one of my course tutors by sharing the document with them, so that they can make notes on it here and there by asking, for example, what do I mean by the extra parts that I've put. And by that I mean I've drafted my answers. They're not like finalized. They're not in the final version. I'll get the help of my tutor to do that. So right now I'm drafting the answers, and then eventually my tutor will see it, and then we'll go through it together. And then once we finalize, and then that will help me finalize doing the coursework, and then we'll send it over, and then that's that. We'll get the news as to whether I've passed it, which will happen eventually. And on the premise I stick to doing 2 pages a day, I would have finished in 8 days, meaning if I keep this work rate up, I would have finished by the 3rd, I would have finished my coursework by the 3rd of June. I would have finished drafting my answers by the 3rd of June. And then from there, I'll get help from my tutor. Ideally before then, on the premise that they see it. I've already sent it to them. I sent it to them today. So I'd imagine I could get some help where I've made it clear that I'm looking for help, like by asking them questions and telling them I was unsure with this part here and there. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'm gonna go straight on to the next one because that's all I've got. Very basically, I've stuck to doing 2 pages a day. I like this work rate, and if I keep this up, I'm gonna finish drafting the answer for coursework by the 3rd of June. Peace.